Here come the men in black, won't let you remember. Here come the men in black. Hey, welcome to another fine edition of the Post Credit Show. I'm your host, Ronnie Williams.
And I am filling in for Sergio, and I'm Gwen Williams.
Hey, Gwen, how you doing?
Fine. How you doing, son?
I'm doing good. We're talking Men in Black, both international and original, comparing the two a little bit, and maybe talking a little bit about Netflix's movie I Am Mother.
Yeah, I love that movie, I Am Mother.
Yeah, a nice sci-fi movie starring Hilary Swank and others. Maybe we'll look up the cast in a bit. But yeah, was there any post-credit scenes for Men in Black?
No.
Nope, nothing. So, but luckily there's a post-credit show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How soon should people watch Men in Black International?
Yeah, I think take your time to see it. I was a little bit disappointed.
Yes, I'm in agreement there. I do say see it eventually, but very much at your leisure.
Yeah.
Like, home release.
But it is interesting to compare the movies from the original and now and what they did with it.
Because even though they're both sci-fi comedy action movies, they're two different types of movies.
Yeah.
And I think we'll get into that, like how they changed. And I think that core idea expands into how maybe the newest one doesn't work as well.
Yeah.
How about I Am Mother on Netflix?
Oh man, I really like that. It was very interesting. Kept my attention the whole time, and I kept wondering what's going to happen.
Yeah, it kept you guessing like most good sci-fis do. It's set like post-apocalyptic world, and a baby's being raised by a robot.
Yeah, to me that was the interesting part because I'm a mother, and then just see what the experiment would be if you were raised by a robot trying to be your mother. So.
Yeah. But yeah, which movie you want to tackle first? And those of you chiming in live, please, if you have any comments on these movies or any other sci-fi movie in general, let us know.
We might as well tackle the main movie.
Oh, Men in Black? Yeah.
First.
So, it's been a while since we've seen a Men in Black movie. They made 3 sequels with the original cast. I mean, Tommy Lee Jones, they got a younger version of him for most of the third movie.
Yeah.
I didn't actually catch the third movie, did you?
I don't think so. I think I only seen the first 2.
Yeah, I saw the second one, not as memorable as the first.
Yeah, I just remember back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm old. When the first movie came out, it was so cool with Will Smith.
Will Smith was really strong in the 90s.
Yeah, and it was just the whole, it was like new. Like with the technology and the...
Right. They were... It was in that beautiful time where they were still using practical effects and enhancing it with special effects. Yeah. You got Titanic around this time. You got Jurassic Park around this time. They were using real creature effects at times, but also some CGI, But they're using CGI sparingly,
And they had action and comedy, and plus they look cool in the black suits.
Yeah.
And the sunglasses.
That's what's so great about the first movie. It's just like about, cool attitude, and Will Smith brings it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's who he is,
Yeah, it's almost too bad. Like, maybe, I don't know whether he didn't want to do it or whatever, but I thought it would have been cool if they redid it.
Yo, man, that's a great thought. Like, please chime in, those that are watching live. Amy Madison loves our matching black outfits. We're talking Men in Black.
Our women in black.
Yeah.
That's from the movie.
And the trailer. One of the best jokes in the trailer. Thank you, Amy. This was on purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah, what would the movie have been like if Will Smith was still in it? I think he would have overshadowed any newcomers.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably the problem they were trying to avoid.
Yeah.
But also, I think it'd have been interesting, like, him training somebody, like, he's the grizzled guy. I assume that's a little bit... No, I actually watched quite a few reviews of the third Men in Black, and you think it would have been, since he's set back in time in that one, that he would be the expert training a younger Tommy Lee Jones. No, Tommy Lee Jones is still the grizzled veteran.
And Tommy Lee Jones, come on.
Yeah.
He is great in the
right. And yeah, and I think the reason the first one works is instead of like having them be more agents, like they do call them Agent K, Agent J, but really they're more like cops.
Yeah.
And Tommy Lee Jones, he did a lot of cop roles. The Fugitive, for one, you know, chasing down Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And Bad Boys.
Yeah.
I mean, Will Smith knows how to play a cop, you know.
Yeah, it was hard for me to get a hold of it too, because I kept thinking of Thor and Valkyrie.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing too. They saw how well they worked in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, they work so well in this, let's get them for this property, you know? And the characters.
Yeah, I don't know. Like they do so good in Thor and Avengers and that, but it just seemed awkward, like almost like they were taken from Thor and put in Men in Black.
Maybe, yeah. Like it's so funny, like they discovered, like, other than being dashing and good looking, Chris Hemsworth has comedic timing.
Yeah, he's really funny, but I didn't see them use that much of his talent as being funny in this movie.
No, it seemed like it was overwritten at times. Like there's one where like he's like at a poker game, and like he's saying all this stuff about how this place, and then he comes back and he's like, you know what, this place sucks. And I'm like, what? Like, that's your joke?
Yeah, sometimes it's really hard, I think, to remake a movie. Especially when the original is like with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. I mean, how do you remake that? Right,
remake, reboot.
Or reboot, yeah.
Well, yeah, rebooting, it's in the same universe, but none of the original cast.
Yeah.
A big old goose egg. Like, usually they'll have somebody return.
Yeah.
Like, even the talking dog was in it for less than a minute.
Yeah, so where is Tommy Lee Jones?
Yeah, that's interesting too. Where are these agents?
Yeah.
Did they retire?
Yeah.
Like
it would have been kind of cool them do a cameo or something like that.
Right.
Or explain what happened to him.
Yeah, like the only thing we saw of them was like a painting on the wall.
Yeah.
And it was like them fighting the giant cockroach in the first movie.
Yeah.
You know? and like, do you want to compare them 1-to-1? Like, just the bad guys alone.
Yeah.
The giant cockroach is amazing in the first movie.
I actually totally forgot a lot of the first movie, so we kind of rewatched a little bit of it. Yeah, the cockroach, and when he's in that human body, he looks like a walking zombie.
Right. He skins this farmer and wears his skin, and it's just like hanging off his face like the whole time. It's beautifully done. And that actor, he more recently was in Jurassic World as the bad guy, and the Daredevil TV series on Netflix.
Yeah.
As the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he just like talks like this, and he's like, you want me to put my hands behind my head, and then he like tears off the skin and becomes the giant cockroach in the final fight scene, you know? Rachel Williams is chiming in. I like how they made a point about it being sexist, calling it Men in Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a funny joke. Like, I don't know if our society knows how to fix that problem.
Yeah.
Because there's X-Men. X-Men made that joke a lot too in Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
How do you fix that problem? X people?
Yeah, X people. It don't sound right, right?
Right. Like, it's funny. The only superhero movie to like have that like fixed, Deadpool 2. He's like, we're X Force.
Ah, there you go. X Force.
And then Rachel says that they didn't overdo it.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it would shove down your throat too.
Dark Phoenix got a little bit like that for me. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Keep chiming in, guys. We love your comments. What's some other points to compare the two? The new one, it seemed the bad guys were like the shapeshifter guys, right?
Yeah.
And like they absorbed this like dancing janitors look.
Yeah, I like in movies a good bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, but these just kind of seem like in the background, and they didn't even seem scary to me.
They weren't scary, and the action scenes. Yeah. Oh man, those action scenes fell very flat for me.
Maybe the only thing is when they were flying over
on the motorcycle.
Yeah, on the motorcycle.
The motorcycle chase scene was interesting to me, but the problem is the scene before they introduce the comic relief character Pawnee.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite character
like
of the whole movie.
Really small alien guy.
Yeah. I wanted to see him more because he was funny.
It's the same guy who made The Big Sick, and later in Stewart. I know his name. It'll come to me in a bit. But yeah, he's a great comic relief. They didn't give him enough to say.
I know.
And like they introduce him, and then immediately he's like out of the movie for a whole action scene. I'm like, why isn't he making little quips all through this, chase scene?
And I don't know, spoiler alert.
Spoilers all around.
Yeah, and that he kind of saves the day at the end.
Yeah.
The little tiny guy saves the day.
Right. It's interesting. Like, he's only there for comic relief and then a little bit of, like, a plot device.
Yeah.
Like, he was just as important as the really big gun they have floating around the whole movie.
And to me, if you use Hemsworth in a movie, like, when he's in Thor, he's bigger than life.
Right.
But they didn't have him bigger than life in this movie. I just thought he kind of...
they tried to paint him as bigger than life. Yeah. Like, they even had an alien, like, do it in slow motion to stare at him more. Like, everybody ogling him. And I'm like, no! Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Kumail Nanjiani is the comedic actor that did the voice of Pawnee.
Oh, okay.
Kumail Nanjiani, that sounds right?
I don't know. You're the expert on movies and actors.
Please let us know in the comments if I'm nailing it. I think I'm nailing it. I think I'm nailing it. Oh, boy. What else? So, like, the action scenes, though. Like, we're watching the old Men in Black, and right away, Will Smith is just chasing an alien on foot.
Like, right away, action, comedy, everything. And this one, like we talked about, took so long to set up.
Oh, so much setup. Unbelievable amount of setup.
But anyway, I mean, it was fun to compare the two movies. But
yes.
Other than that, like, I was a little disappointed.
I was.
The movie.
Yeah, and it's not like I had terrible high hopes for it, but I thought, I assumed that we thought what all the producers thought. It's like, Chris Hemsworth's great, Tessa Thompson great. This movie will be great. And Liam Neeson,
it's a great actor.
Yeah, great cast. Yeah. Liam Neeson seriously underutilized.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe he was edited out of the movie a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know. Was controversy with him or not?
Right.
I don't know.
Like, beginning of the year around February, there's a little controversial hiccup. Luckily, he recovered.
Yeah.
I felt he shouldn't be on blast.
Yeah.
For too long, and luckily he was able to recover. But I'm wondering if Sony panicked and started pulling him out of the movie as much as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And with the first movie, it seemed to be more graphic with the a termite guy killing people too, like
yeah,
in a way.
Well, a little bit more violence here and there, but it was still cartoony violence in the first movie.
We got a guest in the studio.
Rachel
Thank you, live audience, for joining us. Thank you. But yeah, we're still talking Men in Blacks. Please chime in on the comments. Any further thoughts if you've seen the new movie or sci-fi movies in general? Because I think we're going to talk about I Am Mother a little bit.
Yeah.
Starring Hilary Swank.
Yes.
And others. You got any last thoughts on Men in Black International?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pulling up the I Am Mother IMDb so I can, because that young actress really well acted.
Yeah. Speaking of I Am Mother, that'd be a good movie
for Father's Day.
I was thinking for you, Rachel, to watch. What you and Bruno can watch.
Why do you think I'd like it?
It's just a good movie.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
It's brand new with Hilary Swank, and she's an awesome actress. But the new girl, is she new in the scene?
Rose Byrne. Brine.
Oh, she does.
No, that was the voice.
Oh, that's the voice.
That's the voice of the robot, Rose Byrne. Man, they're not giving her top billing. Maddie Lenton.
Oh yeah, the young girl that played in there was, oh man, she was good. I think we're gonna see future.
Yeah, Maddie Lenton. Yeah, and it's funny I don't know if they purposely cast her. She looks like a young Hilary Swank.
Yeah, she does.
So when they introduced Hilary Swank, or I knew Hilary Swank was in it, so I was wondering, maybe she's like a clone of her.
Or did they use her eggs?
I didn't even think of that. It could be her mother. That's
like biological mother.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh no, Maddie Lenton was the infant version of her.
Oh
no! Clara Ruggard. Clara Ruggard is daughter. That's all she's referred to.
Okay, yeah, we need, keep an eye on her and
Clara Ruggard,
she might be in, because I think she is excellent actress.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And Hilary Swank is listed as woman. Interesting titles. It's just like mother, infant, toddler, child, daughter, woman, brother. That's the entire cast list of this movie.
Yeah, I like sci-fi movies because you never know where they're going to take it.
Right.
It's always interesting.
Yeah, and I like these movies that are self-contained. It's usually in a bunker or in a space station or some sort of closed base.
You would think it would be low budget then, since they
you'd be surprised. Even though there was really decent graphics pumped into it, seamless almost.
Yeah.
I bet you they were able to save money because it's mostly shot indoors. Even those, maybe the outdoor ocean scene and maybe the cornfield, but those aren't too bad to shoot around.
So, spoiler alerts. Do we want to just describe a little bit about the movie? We don't have to give the outcome.
Let's. I don't know. Since it's on Netflix and so available, maybe we leave a lot more on the bone for people.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, so just a tiny taste. Okay, not so spoilery.
Well, in the previews, you see that it's basically a child raised by a robot that's her mother.
Right, named Mother. Yeah, and the child is raised from an embryo, and the only information you give you is this giant catastrophe event just happened.
Yeah.
And you see there's more embryos, but the robot's just raising one baby, girl. And she's just living a normal life, and I think she's 14 when a stranger comes to visit.
Yeah. And so it's. I thought it was interesting. I was
Yeah.
watching it.
Edge of the Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I just love those base movies. You
Yeah.
know, it reminds me of other movies like Moon, starring Sam Rockwell. Moon is a great sci-fi.
Yeah.
You caught that one, perchance? And let us know in the comments any other sci-fi movies you've been into. Oh, whoa! Ray saw I Am Mother. Thought the ending stunk. Wouldn't recommend it, but did like the part where after she escaped and returned, she was faced with an army of droids ready to shoot her.
Yeah.
That was a good point. That was like really high stakes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Rachel's like, robots, I want to watch. Robots, I'm in. And also in Moon, there's a robot that the main Sam Rockwell talks to.
Yeah.
It is voiced by Kevin Spacey, but you know.
Yeah. Speaking of robots and robotics, a new movie's coming out. Terminator.
Oh, Terminator Dark Fate.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. Because they're bringing back Linda Hamilton, the actress from the first two.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was really cool.
it looks good. And Schwarzenegger's coming back too.
Yeah.
And they got a female Terminator again. The only other time there was a female Terminator, it was a bad one in the third Terminator, and then the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Oh, yeah.
You were a fan of the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah.
Amy says, I can't wait to see the movie.
Oh, cool.
And Blader Warrior Girl 53, all she had to say was, I'm here to see Mother, and they retreated.
Oh.
Yeah. Ray recommends Wandering Earth, a sci-fi movie.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what that one's about?
No.
It's this huge sci-fi movie China put out.
Oh, okay.
It's like the biggest sci-fi movie ever made by China. And it was making all this money overseas.
Oh, okay.
And now it's on Netflix, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And
another movie we can watch.
so, key difference between the two, Wandering Earth is not a Netflix original.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Netflix movies, you have maybe a year or less to watch.
Yeah.
So, I'd say if you're interested in see it quickly as possible. You know,
Yeah.
stop your watching The Office marathon for a little bit, and watch some of these movies, because I missed some movies too that I wanted to watch. But on the other hand, I Am Mother is a Netflix original.
Yeah.
It should be on there forever.
Yeah.
Unless I'm grossly mistaken.
Like, I'm amazed that Netflix, their originals, how good these movies are. Because it wasn't Bird
Box.
Box.
Starring Sandra Bullock.
Yeah. I thought that was really good. I watched that one twice. So.
Twice?
Yeah.
Dang. You got me beat. It's a lot of fun. I actually do want to go through it again, because the way it's structured, it's worth a second look, I think. Man, what else is on Netflix? There's a kids movie, a summer kids movie about aliens, Rim of the World.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that one.
It's fun.
Yeah.
These kids, they go to summer camp, and then like aliens invade, and it turns out, they have to save the world.
Oh, okay.
It's a great, fun adventure. And the screenwriter of it actually is Zach Stentz. He did the first Thor movie he wrote, and X-Men First Class.
Oh, okay.
And he wrote some of Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Oh, wow.
And Fringe.
Wow.
All stuff that you like, Mom.
I know. I like my sci-fi.
Yep. Oh, and Blader Warrior Girl 53, Rim of the World was good. They agree too.
Oh, good.
Any other sci-fis? Come on, guys.
I don't know sci-fi.
That's fine. Well, let's look ahead. So next week we're totally doing Toy Story 4.
Oh, yeah. I love Toy Story.
I mean, would you call it a reboot? Or is it just a sequel?
It's a sequel because I think they're using the same girl from the last one.
I
it's
get.
a continuous story.
I guess it is yeah. So I guess just a straight up sequel.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a different trilogy, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
There is a slight difference though. It's not Andy anymore, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a younger girl, and like maybe they'll focus in on like how girls play differently than boys do.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it'd be interesting, but that was a great move if they wanted to continue on because Andy passed his old toys on to a little girl. So.
Right. Yeah, man, it's so funny because Toy Story 3...
and I think they're having a cat. So before they had a dog, and now I think they interact with a cat.
Right. So. Yeah, there's a cat somewhere in the movie, according to the trailers.
And of course I watch a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Oh, they're going to love it.
So...
Yeah.
They love those kind of movies, so.
Yep. And I believe Child's Play is also coming out next week. We're going to push that one to later. You're lucky.
I'm not a big
just for fun, I could have made you watch it for next week, but no, we'll do Toy Story 4.
I like thrillers, but
this
horror movies scare me.
This Child's Play movie, though, they're doing it a little differently. It's not like voodoo or magic or none of that. It's computer AI gone crazy.
Oh, okay.
So they're making it like technology gone bad. So, you know, maybe more accessible, but it's still a slasher, you know, people get chopped up movie.
Oh, the movie we watched, Black Mirror, but I don't know if you've seen it with...
Oh, Bandersnatch?
No. Like...
Miley Cyrus.
I watched that. Yeah.
Did you watch that?
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, that was good.
Okay, so yeah, anybody watched new episodes of Black Mirror? What's funny though is they are so long they could be mini movies.
Yeah.
And that one was called and Ashley 2. Something and Ashley 2.
I don't know exactly.
When does Miley Cyrus come into the movie?
You haven't seen it yet?
No.
Oh, it's really good. So it's about these two sisters, and one of them's obsessed with Ashley O, played by Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
And the one that's obsessed with her wants to get one of these Ashley small robot dolls, and she gets it, and it's just doing like very...
Yeah, you don't want to give away spoilers because you can't say too much. But I thought it was really good. And Miley Cyrus, I thought she did
a great job. And the rest of the cast as well.
Yeah.
I think I recognized the super fan from the Spider-Man Homecoming movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a smaller role in that one, but I think she's returning in the sequel coming early July.
I like a lot of the Black Mirror.
Yeah, wonder when I'm waiting for an excuse to do a Black Mirror episode.
Oh, okay.
So, loyal fans, please get at me. You know, like all the other TV series we've done, we've waited until they were completely done.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad, you know, we waited until the entire series was done. Black Mirror, I think it's going to continue for a long time, and who knows when it would end. So we just got to call it at some point, I guess. Because like there's one that's kind of like a spoof of Star Trek, USS Callister.
So Child's Play.
Yes.
That's not the one where the mother buys a toy for her?
It is a toy.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's also Chucky is also the thing that runs the house. You know.
Like I thought I saw an interview with the mother that plays the mother.
Oh, so Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, so she was describing they were asking about the movie, and she says, "Well, I bought a toy for my child, and he turns out to be evil,
just like the Simpsons Halloween special."
I just don't like things like that.
Yeah, you don't like especially when kids are involved in horror movies. You don't like it.
I know Rachel likes horror movies, but
I do.
Well, I'll kick you out of the seat and get Rachel to do it next week. No, we're doing Toy Story.
Yeah. But that could be considered crazy or a horror story. Talking toys.
Yeah, they.
Scary.
Yeah, well,
Especially the first one with that's they kind of had like a
We
psycho
had
kid,
some talking
remember?
toys.
yeah, we need to
Toys.
dive into next episode into more about that first movie. That kid would have been turned into like he was already turning into psycho, but then his toys actually coming to life and talking to him.
Yeah.
That would have thrown him over the edge.
I'm hearing voices.
Spud was the character's name.
But that's funny. Like that, I think that was the only kid that actually saw him alive.
Right.
The other movies, the kids never know.
Yeah, no human knows that toys come to life. Yeah. Yep. This is gonna be a good discussion in the next episode. I can't wait. I think we did a fine job this episode too.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me this week, Ma.
Oh, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Seeing you in your world. I'm gonna be a part of it.
You were in some early episodes. People, go back and look at our what movies do we see?
I don't remember.
Overlord's one of them, and just pick the episode before or after.
Okay.
They're all gold.
All the episodes are gold.
So, talking Toy Story next week. As soon as you see the movie, send us your comments, and maybe we'll put it right into the beginning of the episode.
That sounds good.
Okay, see you next week.
Bye-bye.